Three for the Money is brought to you by the Trendscenter App. This is the best tool for sports betting research. Okay. On the Trendscenter app, you can test betting systems from the past 20 years, explore thousands of existing trends and systems from the top betting experts, choose from hundreds of filters to test different systems for each sport, save these trends, and get notified when these systems have games. Download the app for free using the link in our description and get a free 2-week premium trial using the code TFTM. The normal free trial is 3 days. Kind of a big deal. Upgrade your sports betting research today. Okay, let's get into the show. Okay. We're here. We're back. It's Three for the Money. New episodes every Thursday. Back on track. Playoffs in full swing. MLB full swing. No pun intended. Maybe a little bit intended. But let's check in with the boys. How are we doing, Chris?
Doing pretty good.
Are you still on
Reds.
your heater?
I don't know about a heater, but I'm still doing all right. Came out up by half a unit last night. As the heater, it's definitely not a heater anymore, but we're still up 10 plus units on the month. And yeah, Reds won last night. Pacers didn't, but we'll get into that later. But overall, I don't know. Still breathing, so we're doing all right.
That's all that matters. I believe I'm up. Oh, hello, Bandit. Bandit came in the room.
Saw the door open behind you. It kind of freaked me out at first.
He's just walking around. Okay. Since last week, I'm up like 3 units. Just kind of when I remember to gamble, I do. I just take the Trend Center picks and normally whatever pick that we tweeted out. And it's working out for the most part. I had the over in the Pacers game last night, so that hit.
Cruise.
Yeah. And then we were all hanging out on Friday, and Stars Avalanche went into overtime, and we were like, the Stars are winning this.
Yep.
And so we all kind of threw a little bit. I don't know if Sean did, but me, Chris, and others threw a little bit on the Stars, and that ended up working out. So not too bad this week. I had one day this week I had 2 plays and they both lost. That sucked.
Happens.
But still up 3 on the week, so can't complain. Sean, how are you doing? Are you still responsibly retired? And I can't remember if you rode with us on that Stars dub.
I emotionally rode with you guys. I was
Okay.
not financially riding with you guys. I am still responsibly retired. Yeah. Doing fine. I'm in last week I was actually in the single digits of days in my 20s. So, today, when this comes out, will be my last day as a 20-year-old.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So, is
I
this
didn't put that together?
Is this like a
Yeah.
midlife crisis kind of thing with you not gambling right now?
No, it's just nothing to really gamble on. I feel like I do I get more into it in the NFL season, and there's no point in having all this stress throughout the entire year. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'll dabble here and there, but I'm not. It's not an everyday thing anymore, unfortunately. But it will be like an everyday thing when football's on, because I'll find something to do on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Gotta scratch that itch. Shit. I thought of something to say, but then I forgot it. Anyway, real quick, Chris, if you would like to spearhead the AFL update, we're going on week 3 of AFL chaos, and what's been going on in spring football land.
There's not. It wasn't a big news in the AFL or big news week in the AFL this week, which is probably a good thing. There were a few things. We'll start up with the positive before we get into the inevitable negative. The Oregon Black Bears, days after announcing that they were canceling the rest of their season, are back.
All right.
They're just like, hey, never mind. Jeff Fisher's here. Never mind. We'll play football. They are. There's actually a convenient segue. They are. Oh shit! Hold up. They are filling in for a team this week who just decided to go on bye. The Billings Outlaws decided just like, you know what, we're not going to play this week. I tried to look in to see if there was a bigger story there. Couldn't really find anything. Don't really know what's going on there. But yeah, they just decided we're not going to play this week. So the Oregon Black Bears are stepping in and playing whoever they were supposed to play. I don't remember. The West Kansas Storm, I think, is what they're called. But yeah, apparently you can just do that in the AFL. You're like, yeah, we're just going to take a bye this week.
Is Billings North Dakota?
Montana.
Yeah.
They're all the same.
Right.
But yeah.
Close enough.
it's the same thing. But some bad news. Let me pull up the exact tweet so I can get it right. We did have one team on Friday, I believe it was. Yeah, Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. The Rapid City Marshals. They were they were warming up for a game. I think it was against the Billings Outlaws. They were going through pregame warm-ups. Everything seemed fine. They go back to the locker room. 12 of their 24 players quit the team. And we're not going to play.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And when asked why, they were like, we're not getting paid enough. Turns out their game salary got cut from $1,000 a game to $250. So they're like, fuck that.
Go work at Kroger and make more.
So yeah. So they're like, yeah, we're not going to play this game. And they didn't. And I tried to find out if they're just going to play ever again since half their team quit. I couldn't find anything about a canceled season. So I guess we'll see. But I guess the Black Bears are back, and then 2 teams might be on their way out. So we shall see. But yeah, that's life in the AFL. You never know what's going to happen.
Way she goes.
I guess, dude. Like getting your salary cut like 75%.
Yeah,
is nuts.
Yeah, and they apparently like knew this for days that like their salary got cut. But like, no, we're just going to quit like right before the game to make an actual statement.
That makes sense.
It worked because people are they were like, again, they went through all the pregame warmups and they were in the building, obviously, and they're like, nah, we're done. We not only is like we're not going to play the game, is we quit the team.
Good for them.
No, it is good, but it's just wild that they were just like, no, we're just done.
Oh,
like
yeah.
We flew out to middle of fucking nowhere, Montana, and like we're not going to play this game. We'll find our own way back.
That's a little crazy. To quit the team in Montana is like, oh, you're in like no man's land.
Yeah, and like you can't hop on the team plane back unless they're being generous.
It's like, all right, we're in Montana. Good luck.
Hop on a Greyhound, I guess.
I mean, they have $250, so
Woo-hoo!
They got their bus fare home.
I guess.
Where's Rapid City?
Michigan?
I would assume Michigan, yeah. Grand Rapids.
That makes sense. Yeah. I should have put that together. Fucking way she goes, Bubs. Like, shit, man. What are you gonna do?
It's wild, man.
Yeah. Okay, moving on from spring football. The playoffs are in full swing, both basketball and hockey. The Edmonton Oilers just beat out the Canucks last night, so they will be making it to the conference finals against the Dallas Stars. I have that Edmonton future, but the Stars are gonna crush them. They're gonna crush them. Word is McDavid has like a broken hand or a fractured hand or something.
Ooh.
Something with his hand. He's got something going on with his hands. So like he can't shoot, but he's still out there like out like dancing players out their pants. So like he's still a difference maker.
Yeah.
He just can only really pass. And of course, in the East, it's the Florida Panthers and the New York Rangers, which Sean found out before this that the Rangers have Peter Laviolette as the coach.
Okay,
which was
well,
funny.
I don't know if I like found out or if I just remembered. I really can't figure it out.
No,
I
you
feel
found
like
out
I knew
because
that.
you were like, what? Wait a minute. Hang on. Is Peter Laviolette the head coach of the New York Rangers? Yeah.
Yes,
It was pretty funny.
it's pretty embarrassing.
That's not a found out. That's a found out, not a remember.
Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing.
But
Panthers are currently up 1-0 after the first period, by the way.
Let's go.
let's go.
I don't have anything in this, but
Okay.
Yeah, I really don't want the Rangers to
I
do anymore.
well, okay. When I found out that Peter Laviolette was the head coach, I was already like on the train that I really didn't want the Rangers to get a cup, but now I'm really on the train that I really do not want the Rangers to win this cup.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like
Peter
you
did a
don't want
lot
your ex,
for us, but
you don't want your ex to get married.
No,
Right? So
no.
it's like I wish you well, but don't win a
not
cup.
not too well.
Exactly. Like you had a good season. Let's lose now, though.
Yeah. I think that could be a pretty good series if I'm going to be honest. I think it could be I think if it goes 7, it could be really really entertaining.
Yeah. I
But
wanted to ask you. You said the Stars are going to destroy the Oilers. I've been hearing that, like, just the Stars are going to mollywop them. Is that just kind of like consensus? Like, why even play the series? Especially, I didn't know McDavid's hand was broken, so
yeah.
that's obviously a huge development. Because yeah, he didn't really do anything in the Vancouver series, and I was
Mhm.
pretty surprised by that, considering how he's God's gift to hockey and all. But
Yeah.
I was kind of wondering how you're feeling.
Well, it's not like I don't think they're going to sweep them. I think it'll go 6. Um but if it goes 7, then Dallas is going to win. I don't see it going 7 because their head coach has never lost a game 7. So I mean that's just the way I see it. Like Dallas they're fantastic top to bottom. I mean like they got Craig Smith on the 4th line and like he's like a good hockey player.
Preds legend.
Yes. Predators legend. Um so they roll 4 lines. They're big, they're physical, they can score, they can play defense. They got everything. They got the goalie. Um Edmonton's goalie is Skinner, and he is not very good.
Bad.
So it's just really. I would be very shocked if if Dallas does not win this series.
See, that's what like everyone was saying. Everything I've heard is, yeah, Stars are winning this, no problem. And then so I'm like, oh, they must be minus like 200 or something to win this series. They're only minus 125 on DraftKings.
Yeah, that to me that makes sense, just because Edmonton has been huge favorites pretty much all season. Well, after they got back on the track from their huge slide at the beginning of the season, because of the McDavid factor. Like, everyone knows he's the best, and they have also like the second best player in the league in Draisaitl, and so it's like it makes more sense when you think about it that way. But yes, that is pretty low for that line.
Yeah. So I was thinking about taking it, but I don't want to go against my boy with you having the plus 800 for the Oilers. So
I wouldn't take any offense to it.
I also dislike the Stars, so I'm probably not going to take it either way. But
Yes.
I was just surprised to see after everyone saying, "Oh, it's like they got this easy," to be it only like minus 125.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is just the way I see it shaken out. If Edmonton somehow beats Dallas, they're gonna lose to whoever makes it to the Cup final. That's the way I see it. If Dallas wins this series, which they will, they're going to win the Stanley Cup. That's just the way that I see it.
So it's funny that you say that because DraftKings has lines on hypothetical Cup final series. If it's Rangers Oilers as of now, as of tonight, Oilers are minus 120.
Yeah,
I mean, very surprised about that, on that, honestly.
McDavid's a huge swing.
It's true. I mean, if he's got one hand, I mean, damn.
Yes. It's not like public knowledge, or it's not like released that he is injured. It's more like
it's word on the street.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And like you can tell. You just like look at
him.
Like
he didn't do anything.
He's not shooting. He's passing. He's still creating space.
Yeah.
And like making necessary plays, but he's not like spearheading the offense primarily.
Yeah.
He's more like, if he's going to make a play, it's going to be a pass. So
gotcha.
That's so he's still, there's still a factor. It's just not the factor, I guess.
Gotcha.
So, but I mean, that's just the way I see it shaken out. It's I really don't want to see Dallas winning, but I think they're gonna.
So go Panthers is what it sounds like, or the Oilers, I guess. But
sure,
it sounds like you don't have faith in the Oilers, and we dislike the Rangers and Stars. So we're rooting for the Panthers, I guess.
If the Panthers win, all right, sure, go ahead. It'd be kind of weird, just because they are such a new team, and like they were such dog shit for years, and like they finally got their shit together, and now they're great. It would feel weird, but at the same time, they've been a good team for the past few years, and like they've been building
back-to-back Cup appearances.
That'd be wild.
Could happen.
And it would be their third overall in how many years? 25-ish.
Yeah, that'd be their third Stanley Cup in 25 years.
Jeez.
Their third
appearance.
Yeah, appearance. So, but it's like, I don't know, would you take one Stanley Cup appearance in like the first 2 years and then dog shit after that for like 20 years and now you're good?
Appearance?
Yes.
Or
appearance.
I feel like
so is it up in the air if we won or not, or what's the question?
So the question is, in the first 2 years, would you take appearing in the Stanley, like losing, like the Florida Panthers? They lost in the Stanley Cup final. Yeah, they were swept by the Avs.
Yeah.
Like 99 or something.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't want that.
Yeah. Yeah. To be swept and then dog shit for 20 years. And then now you're,
But I mean, compare that to, I mean, the Preds came along not too long after the Panthers, and we were just dog shit for 2 decades.
Yeah. We were dog shit for like a good, like
dog shit for a while, and then like good.
Yeah.
For I don't know, however after that.
Yeah. And then really good and for like 1 year. And then
a year and a half ish.
Yeah. Yeah. And then just pretty much downhill after that. But so I don't know. It's tough to compare, but
I would
either way, you're not winning.
I would take the Panthers like franchise trajectory, whatever you want to call it, over ours. They've played in 2 cup finals. We've played in 1.
Yeah. Man,
like yes, they were like bottom of the barrel for a long time,
but they have known more pain than we have.
I am numb to that at this point. I don't care.
I don't feel pain.
I would rather get my hopes up and be crushed than just be like, why even give a shit for 20 years?
Than have no hope at all.
I mean, yeah, at some point you're like, give me something.
Yeah.
All I know is pain. So like, who gives a shit? It's just one more thing.
Just one more.
Like
pain.
what is it? Just add it to the list. Who cares?
But yeah. Panthers, man, it'd be crazy to see them win. Last year they got kind of dog walk in the final. Because they were super duper injured. Kachuk broke his spine. I don't think they got swept. I think they went to 5 maybe.
Okay, I was wondering. It's like 2 cup appearances, no actual like wins in the series. That would be wild.
Against Vegas?
Yes, last year.
I mean, they were doomed from the get-go.
Oh yeah.
It's like 6. That seems like too many, and like being swept is.
Vegas 1 and 5.
I was gonna say, if only there was a device to research this.
If only we had the world, all of the world's information at the palm of our hand.
Oh my God, that yikes!
What?
I'm looking at like the scores of this series. Game 5,
Yeah.
The series clincher. Vegas won 9-3.
Yeah, I had the over in that game.
And it's like, just stop. They're dead.
I remember they got
dead.
They got dog walked in another one kind of early too, didn't they?
Yeah, they lost 7-2.
7, yeah. I was like, I feel like someone scored like 7 in one game. Damn.
Just like they're already dead. Like just
fuck Vegas.
Man. Yeah, honestly.
I hate them so much.
You know, for a while, like I really hated the Blackhawks, and then they became really bad, and I don't really hate them that much. Vegas has like really never done anything to me personally, but I think I hate them the most. They are my most hated franchise in the NHL.
At the moment, definitely. When the Blackhawks get good again, they'll take that place.
Yeah.
But as of now, 100%. Like, I mean, we said it many times on this show. Who the fuck do you think you are? Just waltzing into this league and winning a cup and being amazing immediately.
Well, going to the Cup final in your inaugural season.
Yeah. Who the fuck do you
Like,
think you are?
God damn it. And
That's
like, I
what.
mean, that series with the Caps, like Caps Vegas, there was no way Vegas was gonna win. It
Right.
was Ovi's year.
Yeah.
You know, it was. So I was like, okay, go Caps all the way. But I didn't know how much I hated the Golden Knights in that moment. And then they were just still good. And they've always been good.
That was the
Mhm.
thing. In the first year, they make the cup final. You're like, oh, this is fun. This is cool. They lost, so we weren't like mad, especially with Ovi winning. It was like, okay, whatever. But then they stayed good, and now they're cheating. So it's like, fuck these guys. I wish them nothing but pain forever. And like no, especially like Vegas fans. Like, no, fuck you. You don't deserve this. That's why it's like Kraken fans and every fan of an expansion team is like, you have earned it. You are dog shit. You were dog shit for a while. Obviously, the Kraken have only been around for 2 years, but they have not been good. You have to earn
Made the
it.
playoffs.
Well,
They made
yeah,
the playoffs last year, but
yeah, but like they didn't do
they didn't do anything. Um,
so
but that is a thing with like the expansion draft that happened with Vegas. It was people were like, "Oh, this expansion draft is broken. Like this is like unfair that you can only protect
yeah,
a certain amount of players," and it was like, like all this nonsense. And then Seattle comes along and just doesn't draft very well in their
did they
expansion draft.
did they not change the? I could be wrong, but did they not change the rules in between?
No, I'm
Oh, I
pretty
thought
sure
they
they
did.
didn't.
It's the
I'm
I
same.
pretty
thought
It
they
sure
was
they
the
did.
same
didn't.
rules.
Yeah,
Oh wow. Well then, okay.
yeah,
I thought they
but
changed the rules for whatever reason.
yeah, no, they. But you got to think though. It's like Vegas. They did draft really well for their
They
expansion
did.
draft. They did it,
Mhm.
and they got there. They just couldn't finish it, and now they were like, oh well, I guess we'll just cheat from
Yes.
like now on.
I mean, when the opportunity presents itself, and it's not. I mean, it's not really cheating. Like it was.
We know it's not really cheating, but
Yeah.
It
it
should be.
should it sure as hell feels like cheating.
Well.
Just to lie about your best players being hurt. That should be illegal.
Yeah. And like them, another factor of them being hateable is like since their inception, they haven't really been like too faithful to their players, really. Like, they,
Kicked
because they
Flair
just,
to the curb immediately.
after he won the Vesna,
They're just like, yeah, fuck you.
after winning the award for being the league's best goalie, and they canned him. They gave him away for nothing. And like,
And he's still playing like pretty damn well.
yeah, he's pretty good. Um, and like with like just the assets that they've been acquiring and like just shipping off anyone really, and like they traded for Hannafin this trade deadline, uh, and they re-signed him, which means that Marchessault is gone. Like unless they trade someone else, uh, they're not going to re-sign Marchessault because
And
his deal's up.
he was like the dude that first year.
Yeah, him and
Like
William Carlson.
yeah.
And now William Carlson's like a fourth liner. He's okay now, but it's like he's still on the team, I guess.
Yeah, Marshall was like, holy shit, like where this guy's amazing. How did they just find this guy? And now he's what, 3 years, 4 years later, not even gonna be on the team anymore? Not.
Well,
Doesn't sit right with me.
that was Florida's fault because I don't know if you guys
That
knew
is
this.
true, yes. But
I don't know if you guys knew this, but like Florida paid Vegas uh, Riley Smith, who was one of their top line players for a while, to take Marchessault instead of someone else. Yeah,
I didn't know that. That also feels illegal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there were deals that you could put into place during that expansion draft where it was like, hey, we're gonna take this guy, and then they're like, well, if we offer you this, will you take someone else?
If we pay you off, take someone else.
That is exactly what transpired.
Doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
Gary Bettman, wake the fuck up.
Yeah. Um. But yes, they haven't. They've been very non-allegiant to really anyone. So it's like you might play in Vegas, but it won't be for a while. And so these guys have families, like not all of them, but a good portion of them. And so it's like you don't want to uproot that type of thing. So
Don't want to
it's
be moving kids in the middle of the school year. Like you
yeah,
just can't do that.
yeah, I guess. Not like it's important, but uh but yeah, the Vegas is very hateable. And I hate that the Stars have just like drafted the best uh in the past 5 years. They've literally drafted the best players out of the draft these past like 5 years. They've all worked out, all of them.
We're so fucking cynical. It's like we hate Vegas for doing it the wrong way. We hate Dallas for doing it the right way. Like we're so, we're trolls. We're like, if you're good, fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I
Why
mean,
can't I be good? Why can't I
Exactly.
like a
That's
good
it.
team?
Like we're just bitter.
yeah. I don't hate the Stars because they did their, jobs well. I hate the Stars
I do.
because. Oh, okay. Um,
I respect that. I hate them because they're in our division. Mainly.
yeah, exactly what I was about to say. Just they're in our division and they're good, and our division is already tough as shit as it is, and
then they just get amazing. Like
they're just good. They're just good. I hate it.
Okay, moving on. Uh really haven't been paying attention too much to the NBA. I did see that the Timberwolves moved on from the Nuggets. That's crazy. Um, and the Pacers and Celtics played last night in the East, the Eastern Conference. I didn't watch it, but I heard the ending was pretty silly. Um, Chris, you might have some thoughts about it. Me and Sean didn't end up watching it.
Yeah, it sucked. Pacers had a lead with under 10, I want to say 7 seconds left. All they had to do, inbound the ball, get fouled, make your free throws. Seems simple enough, right? They couldn't even inbound the ball. Turned it over. Celtics make just like a Hail Mary three, like Jaylen Brown in the corner just didn't like it was a beautiful shot, but when he came up with it, he was like turned and it was like, oh, this isn't going in. And of course he made it. And then just get stomped in overtime. They choked that game away. Tyrese Halliburton I think in the last few minutes and then also in overtime, just dribbled the ball out of bounds. Not like went off his knee or was poked out or anything like that. Just was dribbling the ball and then he lost it. And it went out of bounds. He's your star point guard. I mean, they played a phenomenal game until the last minute. And then overtime, when you choke a game like that away, you don't win. So I knew when it went to overtime, I was like, why am I even going to watch this? And they lost by like 10 or less than 10 because they covered the spread. But yeah, just to have the game, especially when you're such a big dog, you had it there. Like it was in your hand and you just choked. It was terrible. Like, it was terrible. Yeah. And then I see people trying to be like, well, at least the Pacers now know that they can play with these guys. It's like, well, fruity do. You're in the Eastern Conference Finals. You should fucking know you can play with these guys. I know the Celtics are very, very good, but you shouldn't be walking into this series being like, well, I hope we stand a chance. It's the Eastern Conference Finals. You are one of the final 4 teams left in the season. Like, there's no moral victories at this point. So shut the fuck up with that. I mean, that drove me insane. But yeah, it was terrible. And like I said, all I know is pain. None of my teams are ever going to do anything. And it's just the way it is. And they're going to get stomped in game 2. That's just the way it goes. You don't lose a game like that and just come back and win 2 days later. It's just, yeah, they had it and they let it slip away, per usual with my teams. So yeah, that's Eastern Conference Finals Game 1 recap from Chris.
All right.
Nothing but pain, as always.
Sean, I think you're muted or something.
Yep, sure was. Well, thoughts and prayers to you for being a Pacers fan. We'll be thinking about you.
And one thing, too, we can talk about this last week because Game 7 was after we recorded. But Game 7 of the Pacers-Knicks series, the pregame was just a Knicks jerk-off fest. Like, you didn't even know the Pacers were playing in this game. It was like the pregame was just like, all right, let's kick it to Stephen A. in Madison Square Garden. And he just goes on this tirade about how the Knicks are God's gift to basketball and everyone should just kiss the ground they walk on. And then they get fucking blitzed by the Pacers in the first half. And then at halftime, what are we talking about? We got Michael Wilbon and some other fuck who I don't even know. We're like, there's like, what did you think about the first half? Pacers shot 76% in the first half. Michael Wilbon's like, well, they can't sustain it. They're probably going to lose. And this other guy was like, well, the Knicks, OG Toppin, he only played 5 minutes. Like, we're not talking about that enough. And it's like, what the fuck are we doing? They had a historic first half, and nobody gives a fuck. And then, fuck you, Michael Wilbon. They did follow that up. They shot 67% from the field that game. Best shooting percentage from the field in a playoff game in NBA history, and nobody gives a fuck because it's the Pacers. If it was the Knicks, they would be throwing a parade already for them. I was livid. Fuck Stephen A. Fuck Michael Wilbon. Fuck NBA. Like, that was the worst. If you didn't know like what was going on, you would have no idea that the Knicks were playing someone. You would think this was a championship parade for the Knicks. By the way, they were talking about Game 7 pregame. It's not like they were up 50 at the half and they're like, well, this game's over. This was pregame. And then, yeah, you get Stephen A. and fucking who's that washed up director who's their fan, Spike Lee, pretty much making out with each other pregame. It was the worst thing I've ever seen. They should be ashamed of themselves. No wonder that company is going to go bankrupt in 5 years. God. Anyway, Pacers money line Game 2. So I've been sitting on that for a long time.
Oh no,
it's been a few days.
It's great.
I was so fucking mad, if you couldn't tell. But yeah.
Well, you got the last laugh, obviously. So
for that, yeah, and then they proceed to choke in Game 1, but whatever.
Yeah,
I just can't find happiness.
Well, I can't really help you there. But
it did kind of feel like that at times when Nashville was playing Vancouver. It did kind of feel like, oh, Vancouver's, they just got to keep it going, you know, like they can do this. They can win. Like they're the underdog. Like, they didn't win their division. And it's like, this is like Canadian bias.
Every team I follow, it's like whenever they do something awesome, it's never, look at what this team did that was so cool. It is, what did the quote unquote superior team do to fuck it up? That's what happens with the Titans. That's what happens with the Preds. And that's what happened with the Pacers the last week. That's just all of my teams. It's never, maybe it's because I exclusively root for small market teams, but it's never what did they do right. It's how did this other team possibly manage to lose this game. It's the way it goes.
Well, Chris, if it helps, that rant was beautiful.
Glad y'all liked it.
I loved it.
It was fantastic.
That was an all-timer.
Pulitzer
I really
winner.
appreciate that. Yes. Did you think about all of those words before you said them, or did you just go?
I mean, I've been thinking variations of those words for when was Game 7? 5 days ago, something like that. I've been thinking them in some sort of variation of like that, but I didn't walk in. I didn't even know I was going to say that, honestly. I was just already wound up from the Pacers choking. I was like, you know what? I got some more things to say.
And another thing.
Fuck Stephen A. and ESPN.
Today is a very bad day.
Which I don't hate Stephen A. I'm not. Fuck him for that pregame shit, but he knows the Knicks are terrible, and they always will be. So I'm not like he's an actual realist. So I'm not gonna shit on him.
It's actually hilarious how Stephen A. like constantly shits on the Cowboys. Like
that's
as valid as like a hatred for the Dallas Cowboys as you have. If you're a Knicks fan, you can't really be spouting the same kind of nonsense.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Like
the
Knicks last won a championship, like, I think it was like a few years after black people were allowed to play professional basketball.
Yeah.
So let's maybe like rein in your yes, drop your balls on the Cowboys all you want. They suck and they always in the playoffs they will suck and they always will. But like you're also a Knicks fan. So like
that's really my point. Like, you know, the Dallas Cowboys are low-hanging fruit at this point. But like,
yes.
don't go into a pregame being like Knicks by 50, you know, basically. And
might as well have.
Yeah. And you're in the same exact situation, if not worse of a situation.
Like, I mean, and also if you want to I'm no NBA historian by any stretch, but I don't remember any time I don't remember the last time the Knicks played a meaningful playoff game. The Pacers were in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2014.
Yeah.
So, and they lost to LeBron and the super team in Miami. So, like, I hate that was like ESPN being like, we only give a shit about teams in New York, and here is the prime example. It made me so mad.
I really liked that washed up director bit. And
if you told me
director,
that was so good.
If you had told me Spike Lee has made a movie in the last decade, I would be genuinely surprised.
I just thought
like I know I'm not his target demo. I get it, but I have not heard that man's name mentioned outside of the Knicks in ages.
The New York Knicks.
And also, Ben Stiller, fuck yourself. He's like a Knicks fan now? No. Spike Lee, I at least respect his fandom. He's been there for ages. I have never seen Ben Stiller courtside at a Knicks game until this year, and he's like out here talking shit. So, loved you and meet the Fockers. Fuck you, Ben Stiller.
He was great at Night at the Museum.
Yeah, so was Owen Wilson.
He was as well.
Robin Williams?
Yeah, that's who. Oh. This is great. This is a great film.
Ensemble cast.
Cast.
I mean, it kind of was. And that British dude, who was also in the other guys, whose name I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Fuck, what is
he played like one of the miniature guys.
He was
right?
He was the miniature opposite Owen Wilson, the Roman gladiator guy.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name? I'm gonna look that up.
And Hank Azaria was a like a pharaoh or something.
He was in the sequel.
I thought he was in the original one too.
No, he's in the sequel.
Huh.
You're right. Yeah, he was.
Hmm.
Right,
okay.
cast.
Well,
yeah. Let's move on from Night at the Museum 1 and 2.
Yes.
Steve Coogan.
Steve Coogan.
Never heard of him.
You know him.
He's a
Yeah, sure.
He was the British guy and the other guys. He was like
the British guy.
He was like the bad guy, quote unquote.
Oh, the scrawny one that got them tickets to
The
the
Jersey
Celtics?
Boys?
The Jersey Boys. Okay, yeah.
And a Knicks game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a Knicks game.
It all comes back to the Knicks.
Fuck you, Brooke Shields. Let's add another one.
Fantastic. Okay, let's move on.
Okay, so I keep seeing this graphic today that it's like, all right, the last 4 teams, there's going to be a young superstar that gets a championship, which is cool. It's refreshing, you know. Sure, like the Celtics have kind of, been very good for the past few years, but I mean, it's like Luka's finally got a decent team. Anthony Edwards, he didn't come out of nowhere, but now that he is like taking over playoff games, it's like this is awesome. Fucking Tyrese Halliburton, he's been good for a year or two.
This was his like breakout year. He's been solid for a few years, but this was his like holy shit. And he was an all-star this year.
Yeah.
So this is his breakout year.
Yeah, he is a very, very good player. I mean, Jason Tatum,
that whole team. I mean, yeah, Jason Tatum is very good, and Jaylen Brown. Like that whole team is. And Al Horford, his decrepit ass.
Yeah,
he's 37, but whatever.
With his geriatric muscles and joints.
37, but yes.
So old. Fucking old.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. Like that's pretty refreshing. Like I don't think the Mavericks haven't been this far in a long time
since they beat the Heat. What year was that? 2012. It was LeBron's first year LeBron's first year in Miami. They won the championship. Rick Carlisle, Pacers coach, was the coach of that team.
Right on.
Fun
Hell
fact.
Yeah. And I mean, like the Timberwolves haven't been relevant for like a million years. They made it to the Western Conference Finals once with KG, but that was it. I
mean, hell, that was damn near 20 years ago at this point.
Yes. Yes, it was. So the Timberwolves, it's like, wow, the Timberwolves, they're in the Western Conference Finals. That's crazy. That's yeah. And like I didn't know that Pascal Siakam was on the Pacers. Who else is on the Pacers?
Miles Turner, Obi Toppin, and then the greatest white basketball player ever born, TJ McConnell. Greatest white American basketball player ever born, TJ McConnell.
I know that's a bit, but I'm trying
it's starting to like kind of be like we need to have a conversation about it. This guy's a fucking stud.
I'm just gonna look up his face. I'm having
played at Arizona in college.
TJ McConnell.
McConnell.
TJ McConnell.
Oh, greatest white American basketball player ever born.
The picture that comes up when I Google him does not do him any favors.
I'm not saying he's the hottest guy ever. I think.
I'm just saying this picture.
What picture?
This one.
I can barely even see it. I mean, yeah, that's not. It's a post game. He's
He's looking
sweaty.
super tired. Yeah.
Yeah, he just played basketball.
He looks all of 32 years old.
Still
But
great.
yeah, that guy's good. I remember him now. So like, should be pretty awesome. You know, there's like, it feels like all of the teams are deep or relatively deep. It doesn't feel like it's just 1-2 and then like
Oh yeah.
role players.
I mean, yeah, no, you're right. Every team. Yeah, no, exactly. You're right. It's like the Mavericks are kind of like because they have 2 stars, but even then they got guys other than Luke and Kyrie who can play. And yeah, I was trying to think when you were saying like how many like core guys in this like last four or final four remaining have won a ring, and it's like Kyrie and Siakam, I think, are the only ones, to my knowledge, who have a ring.
Yeah.
Because nobody in the Timberwolves has won one because they
Yeah.
kind of have those like their own guys, and the Celtics are the same, and the Pacers just haven't. Like Siakam has won one, but that was with the Raptors.
Right.
And then and then Kyrie obviously, but yeah. So it's going to be refreshing to see new guys win a championship.
Yeah. So that's nice. That's exciting. That's entertaining. So yeah, that's pretty good. Do we have anything else?
I just want one thing.
Any other Ben Stiller movies that we want to talk about?
What was that one when
Starsky and Hutch?
No, I mean, he was in that. What was that weird one he was in that was like really good? Was that Walter or something?
Secret Life of Walter Mitty?
Was it really good?
People told me it was good. I never saw it.
Okay. If people told you it was really good, they were lying.
Didn't it get nominated for something?
I don't know. It's fine. I think it's fine, but yeah.
I mean,
I don't think it's really good.
Dodgeball and Tropic Thunder are 2 of the best movies ever made.
I mean, in Tropic Thunder, they won an Oscar for Tropic Thunder, the movie about the making of Tropic Thunder. So if you put an imaginary Oscar into your movie, you kind of won an Oscar.
Wait,
the movie within the movie won an Oscar. That's
okay.
Yeah,
that's got to be the first time that's ever happened.
I think so.
So they should have won an Oscar for
it's gotta be
coolest thing. Also, well, that movie is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, well, that movie's so long too. That movie's like 2 hours and 45 minutes long.
Awesome,
long movie.
It's crazy. That's like some Marvel movie or something. It's nuts,
but it's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Your mother's a cankerous whore. Hey, man. Remember way back when I called your mom a cankerous whore? She's not.
I didn't mean it. God damn.
Let's go through heroin withdrawals.
Okay, if we're on the topic of movies, then top sports movie
ever?
Yeah, go.
Miracle.
Took mine.
Yeah,
that's the easy choice.
It's I mean, it's so good. It's so good.
It's so good.
Yeah, because it's amazing.
It's an amazing movie.
Like non-documentary, just straight up like
movie. Yeah, like biopic.
Yeah, based on a true story, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, Moneyball is amazing.
Or maybe something like, The Sandlot or Bad News Bears or
this may be
some fictitious.
Unpopular opinion. I think The Sandlot is incredibly overrated.
Ooh.
I think it's good.
I think it is good.
Yeah.
But people talk about it like it's the greatest like kids movie ever made. And I'm like, okay. Like it's fine. Like it is good. I like the movie, but it is nowhere near like amazing. That's just
Would you classify it as a classic?
Depends on when you see it.
I would. There's a lot of quotable lines. It's you're killing me, Smalls.
Yeah.
You put the mallow with the graham and the chocolate. That's a funny line.
I mean, yeah, it's a good movie. I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, but people like when people say it's like the best, either the best baseball movie or the best like kids movie ever made. I'm like, okay, like let's chill out.
The I think it was like the Mighty Ducks 2. That movie is semi-racist, which is hilarious.
How
Uh,
how so?
so
And
like
on both accounts, how so?
so they're like, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember this thinking, wow, that was like pretty racist. They're like playing in some like world tournament for like Pee Wee hockey or something, and they play a team from Jamaica, and they're playing them on the ice, and then it pans to the crowd, and there's like the Jamaica fans, and they're all like dressed like in like some of them are in like hula skirts and like tropical, and they're like playing like African drums.
Okay, I need to watch that. If that's true, it's very racist. That is hilarious.
Yeah, and like they were
not,
like kind of like making
not
like
cool.
jungle noises.
Oh my god.
It was like
Yikes.
it was like, are there jungles in Jamaica? I thought it was just beaches.
I gotta
But
go check.
that's also the movie where Keenan Thompson, known SNL alum or not alum, veteran,
Legend.
invented the knuckle puck. If you remember,
I do, but
he invented the knuckle puck.
sure.
He was the one that invented that move. So when you turn the puck on its side and then
Yeah.
slap shot it. For those at home that don't know.
While we're on the topic of the Mighty Ducks, people hate on D3. I like that movie.
Is
I
that
kind
the
of
one
like
with
it.
the monkey? Is there a
Is there
monkey
a
in that
monkey?
movie?
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen it in a long time. There might be a monkey. It's
Yeah.
like when they're in like college or whatever, and they're playing for like a prep team,
And
and
Emilio Estevez isn't even in
he's
the
in it for
movie.
like 10 minutes. But
I've
yeah,
only seen the first two, I
people
think.
shit on it. I kind of like it. Like I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
It
Okay.
it was all right.
Like it doesn't deserve the hate it gets.
Yeah. What other sports movies?
I would really like
I'm
a
just thinking.
Bombay Ducks jersey.
That'd be
That would
wild.
be
Really,
sick.
I would really dig that.
It wasn't until D3 when until they had like the really nice Ducks jerseys. Like in like 1 and 2, they had those
Where they like
ugly
wore
ass.
them, yeah,
Yeah, they had those ugly ass like green and yellow like,
yeah.
and like the the duck on the front is like has like Down syndrome and like doesn't look great at all.
Well, that's when Disney like owned the Ducks
mhm.
and that they could use like that jersey,
Yeah.
right?
I mean
I
like the
think so.
NHL team, like I'm not sure they ever wore like the terrible looking jerseys
They didn't
in
they didn't wear the terrible ones, but
yeah.
like they had like the Disney like design team around like the purple and green like
Mhm.
Anaheim Ducks.
Yeah.
And
But
that's
it
when
wasn't,
that in D3 that's when it starts to get like really clean.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
In D3 that was the movie where it was like, "Oh, these are like the greatest jerseys of all time." Type of shit. Um they I mean, that's another discussion we can have, greatest jerseys of all time, but um like
That's a
that
midsummer episode kind of.
yeah. Yeah. Um so it wasn't until D3 where it was like, "Oh man, those jerseys are fucking sick."
Mhm.
What other sports movies?
It's not a great movie, but I think it's interesting. I like The Replacements with Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman. I think it's pretty fun.
Yeah, that one.
It's not like objectively, it is not a very good movie, but it's
I've
fun.
seen it on TV.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen it on like uninterrupted or anything. But I was like, okay, like I could get behind this, like just some washed up like all
Joe
pro.
Falco.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just it's basically Joe Flacco like comes back and he's just fucking slinging it across the yard.
And it's like it's loosely inspired by a true story with the whatever year that NFL lockout was when they had to bring in the replacement players. But I just think it's fun. I like it. And Jon Favreau's in it. And I think that's pretty much
cool.
it. Yeah.
Did he direct that movie?
It was young Jon Favreau. Man, I don't know who directed it, if I'm being honest.
He always puts himself in his own movies, so
I'm gonna look that up actually.
I'm also gonna look up a list of best sports movies. And Miracle's not at the top.
It was not directed by Sean
Howard Deutsch.
Yeah.
I know.
Sorry.
What was the football movie with Pacino, Any Given Sunday?
Yes.
I know that like the speech is awesome. I think I've only seen that movie once, and it was a very long time ago. I don't know if that's makes me a bad like football fan, but I don't know. It's never really appealed to me.
Remember the Titans.
Ended racism.
Yeah. Those guys are my brothers.
The high school football team is 4-0. Those guys are my brothers.
I think
Caddyshack.
I've seen
Caddyshack's funny.
I've seen Remember the Titans like more times than I can count on all of the digits on my body.
When we were like teenagers, yeah, it was on TNT every weekend. It felt like.
Not even that, dude. It was like I went on like a lot of church trips, like in middle school and high school, and we would get those charter buses that had the TVs, and every single trip, someone would bring Remember the Titans, and it's like, bro, like we just watched this like 2 months ago, like we just saw this movie.
Oh, have you seen it? It's great.
Friday Night Lights is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
The movie.
Mm-hmm. The movie is great.
I don't think I've ever seen the show. At least
I've never seen the show. The movie is fantastic.
Episodes. I don't care to see the show. The movie is perfect.
Yeah,
everything about it is amazing.
What do y'all think about Rudy?
Overrated.
Ooh, Chris.
No,
go
actually,
ahead.
Fuck Rudy.
Go ahead.
Fuck Rudy. I don't get it. Why is it good? Like, I don't get it. I hate Rudy. I think Rudy is one of the most overrated movies of all time.
Never saw it.
Like, is that what you wanted me to say? I feel like you wanted me to make a point. I don't get it. Like, I just don't get why it's like everyone loves it.
Isn't it like an underdog story?
Yeah, but like he doesn't do anything. He like records a sack. Cool. I don't care. Also,
I think the real story of Rudy is much more like radio than it is like a heroic story. I'm being dead serious. Like I think Rudy was like actually like the real Rudy. He was like mentally challenged, and like that was like the reason why the Notre Dame players were like, put him in for the last play of the game, like put him in, and like the coach was like, no. Like, what are you talking about? Like, no.
Yeah,
And
I hate
then,
that.
like, yeah, he got that one set, which I don't even know if is like historically accurate, if I'm being honest. But I think that the story of Rudy is actually like just a mentally challenged man who didn't succeed academically.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if he was actually mentally challenged, but I know that he wasn't very academically successful, if that makes sense. I'm not trying to put myself into a corner, but
I think Vince Vaughn's the best part of that whole movie. And he just bullies the shit out of Rudy.
yeah.
I do like Vince Vaughn though. It's funny, but I do not like Rudy. I just don't get it.
Some of these sports movies that go off of like tragedy, like We Are Marshall.
That movie rocks. Don't you?
Okay.
Be careful here.
Okay.
That movie is awesome. We Are.
I'm just saying it's much more like dramatized than like the real events that
the whole
but
team
like
died in a plane crash.
I'm not like, oh my god. I'm not saying that didn't happen. I'm saying, like, the scene where it's like look out your window right now to the NCAA commissioner, and it's like the entire student body of Marshall.
Well, yeah,
just,
you gotta
like
you gotta tweak it a little bit.
Yeah. I get
everybody
it.
was
like,
cool with it.
I get it. They changed the game. They allowed freshmen to be able to play, and like I get it, but I don't. Okay. Chris says the movie rocks.
I love that movie.
Yeah. Matthew McConaughey, no doubt, like always a fun time.
The dude from Lost.
Yeah.
I want to say his last name's Fox.
Matthew Fox.
The
McConaughey.
The black dude from the Avengers.
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he's been in many things I cannot remember, and he's awesome. I just couldn't remember his name. But
yeah.
There's sports movies.
That's it. I think. Unless, or Chris, do you have UFL bets to give out?
Lines start out
again.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's a good thing. I fucking suck at this. I've been doing so bad.
What'd you do last week?
1-3.
Okay.
I think I've had I had one good week where I went 3-1, and I think I've had 2 weeks where I've gone 2-2, and everything else has been terrible. Yeah, it's been rough out here for your boy. But we're coming up on the end. I think this is gonna be week 9, and then we got playoffs in 2 weeks.
We've done 9 of these things.
Yep, and we got playoffs, which I think is just a game, or a game and then the championship. Well, there's 10 teams. What do you want?
You're right.
I don't know. I really don't know.
There's 2 games, but a game per conference.
I know. Yeah. But
what do you like? There's 10 teams.
You're right.
Yeah, you're right. I just think it's silly. I think it's funny. It's just a little bit ridiculous, is all I'm saying.
It's a very entertaining product. I enjoy it. I wish it was a little bit later in the year. I wish it started later, because when it starts, I'm not itching for football. It needs to start middle of the summer. That's what the XFL did last year, I believe. They started in I think they started around this time. And it was okay, this is actually perfect.
The XFL or the USFL?
USFL started early. I think it was USFL started immediately after the Super Bowl, and then XFL started, like I said, around this time, mid to late May.
I thought it was reversed.
I don't think so, because I remember watching the XFL a lot more than the USFL.
Okay. I'll trust you. Do we want to wrap up?
Yeah, we probably need to.
All right. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Check out the bio below. Shout out Trendscenter. It's been helping us make money this summer, betting on baseball and playoffs. Check those out in the bio. Follow us on everything. Link in the bio. Yeah, we'll see you next time. There's 3 of us. Now let's make some money.
Woo. Woo. All right. We are Marshall.
Hey, fuck.